good morning, Anambra. We're so delighted to welcome you once again. This is welcoming you to this topic that says 2019 will votes count. You know, one thing is registering for your permanent voter's card. Another thing is picking it. And one thing is going to cast your votes. And another thing is your votes being counted as one. And a lot of things have been playing out, you know, unfolding ahead of the 2019 elections. And a lot of questions is being built up in the minds of average Nigerians. And so this morning, we are here to look into this topic. Will the votes count actually come 2019 election? Now in the studio to look into this topic is Professor Dennis Aribodo. Professor Dennis Aribodo is a professor of public health parasitology, Anambra Azikiwe University here in Awka. Prof, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you and good morning.
Yeah, good to have you.
All right, INEC have actually continued to announce distribution of its permanent voter card, yet they still complain that a lot of cards are lying down in their offices uncollected. For instance, they say that 200,000 copies are yet to be collected in Adamawa. Then they cry a low collection in Ebonyi State, and just all the states. We can go on and on. You know, how would you actually describe because I call it attitude, this attitude of our people towards getting set to elect a leader come 2019?
Okay, thank you for the question. The attitude of our people is not unconnected with the quality of leadership from our political leaders. The way they treat an average Nigerian does not encourage people to go and know that these things are very important. But that notwithstanding, I think that there is no need to cry too much now. Election is in February, and I know that those who political parties have given ticket, part of their responsibility now is to mobilize people that will vote for them. You know, so those people who are now candidates of political parties for various positions, part of their responsibility to complement INEC and the parties is to tell their people in their own words, constituencies, and where they're going to cast their vote, please go and pick your voter's card. So for me, in as much as the apathy or attitude of not picking the card is not a welcome development, but as I said, it is a symptom, a consequence of, you know, people not feeling that they actually matter in the political process.
Actually, you said attitude here, you know, from those in political
offices
or political gladiators, yes, so to speak. Yes. You know, is it not equally our right as a people to own that permanent voter's card? And especially here in Nigeria, there are a lot of things you can actually use your voter's card for.
Yes, it is our right to own it. It is actually very important to own it. But we should graduate from the present procedure of acquiring voter's card and not finishing everything in one day at one point. If you can acquire our bank ATM cards within minutes or hours, this voter's card can be given out as soon as we are registering. So that is where INEC should be going towards and the government should be going towards. That once people have brought out their time to come and register, they must not leave without collecting that card there and then. That is what the next.
That's your own proposal. All
yes.
Right. At this point, I would like to let you know that the topic is 2019 elections, will votes count? At this point, you take a very short break. The program returns after now. Join us again.
PVC. Honestly,
with the recent thing that happened in Ekiti State and Osun State, to me, I don't really think that it will count. But we have to go and vote. Whether it counts or not, we have to guide our vote.
I want voters card. Yeah, I want voters card. No, about vote. About the vote to get go on your arch. And Nigeria is because we didn't can any wefte zoe na chi wefte. So na na go vote. Okay, I can make your voters card.
Yes, we voters card. I got to vote. I don't think no vote I can't due to him in Nigeria, especially him of recent. Now vote out to Ekiti and Osun State. I believe there must be some respect after Gabo results.
I want voters card, man. Kemu Lagos Cambodia. Now win Anambra. So man, I may will make transfer. Vote anatu. Bwa kandina INEC. Call the mafia. Go vote. Case we to mafia. I may mago ni mi. Na kapa call.
All right, welcome back to the studio. We are being joined right now by Transition Committee Chairman, Anocha Local Government Area of Anambra State, Honorable Ikobi Ejiofor. Honorable, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
All right. We were looking at the rights that the individuals have, to go and pick their voters card, and the INEC kept complaining that there are so many cards lying out there without the people coming to pick their permanent voters card. And we're kind of looking at this attitude of our people. What do you have to say about it?
Well, first, I must start by thanking the ABS for this awareness. We all know that permanent voters card is the instrument that you use to cast your vote for every voter. And recently, just last week, Monday on 8th, INEC started another round of distribution of PVCs across the wards in the Federation. And the exercise have been poorly attended so far, because our people have this appetite of very serious participation in political development. I don't know the reason, but as far as I'm concerned, it's as a result of certain developments in the recent time in Nigerian democracy. One is that people believe that their votes doesn't count again. Secondly, is that the electoral process have been a subject of manipulation by either the umpire or the political parties and even the candidates. But the recent development in the country have given everybody the willingness to participate actively in the upcoming 2019 election.
All right, thank you. We're talking about 2019 votes count. This quote by Louis L'Amour. He says, to make democracy work, we must be a nation of participants and not observers. One who doesn't vote has no right to complain. That's his quote. And when you look at the quote, it's quite good. But what happens when an individual goes to cast his or her vote and they know within themselves that their vote won't count? And then again, they've also lost the opportunity of voting for the person they feel would be able to change the country. Where do we go from here, Professor?
Yes, all hope is not lost. Nigeria started Fourth Republic in 1999, and the experience of the last 20 years is not quite palatable. But that doesn't mean that we should retire to complacency. What we are advocating is that every human being, every adult should be encouraged to be active in political process. Even if you don't think that the parties have brought out the right candidates or your candidate, it's not enough for you to run away. We are saying that we should all be involved. We have to pick our voter's card. We have to go and vote. And even when they want to make the vote to count, we have the power. The power belongs to the people. People have the power to mobilize and say no. People agitation and insistence have resulted in decisions being changed. For example, if people know that we voted for candidate A and we are giving result to candidate B and people said no, it cannot happen, the result can be changed there. So, but the problem we have in this country is that our people have been so impoverished.
Has he ever worked in this country?
Yeah, what you just said.
Has he ever worked?
Yes, it worked partly in Edo when El Shomole came on the first term. If you watch, if you followed the election result, somebody else was being declared. I think one professor, Osareme, and later people's voice, played a part, even though it ended up in tribunal. But that coming out to say no, this is not what we voted for. The process.
It was also something that similar issue actually played out in Osun State, where a lot of people actually felt it was the PDP party that was actually winning. I mean, yes, that was winning, and before you know it, they said, okay, fine, we're going to have a rerun election. And even in the rerun election, we had people, according to the stories, that were also coming to vote for PDP, but lots of hoodlums, thuggery, beating here and there, and nobody could actually come out and say.
My problem with this country is that when you are on the receiving end, you cry wolf. When you are on the driving seat, you don't complain. The same PDP did terrible things in this country, using the powers of incumbency. Now they don't have that power. And
all right, we'll still get back to that. The program is still Good Morning Anambra. And remember, it's audience participatory, so you have the opportunity to call and make your own opinion count on this issue being discussed. We are going to take another short break to bring you some vox pop on how the people feel about the whole issue. We'll be right back.
PVC. Honestly, with the recent thing that happened in Ekiti State and Osun State, to me, I don't really think that it will count. But we have to go and vote. Whether it counts or not, we have to guide our vote.
I want voters card. Yeah, I want voters card. No, about vote. About the vote to get go on your arch. And Nigeria is because we didn't can any left the zone arch left. So now I go vote. Okay, I can make your voters card.
Yes, we voters card. I got to vote. I don't think no vote I can't. Due to him in Nigeria, especially him of recent. Now vote out to Ekiti and Osun State. I really have massive respect after Gabo results.
I went voters card, man, and came to Lagos, Cambodia. Now we're in Anambra. So, man, I may transfer. Vote one or two. But can't INEC call the mafia. Go vote. Guess where to mafia?
All right, you've heard the voice of the people, and I would like to add this to that. A resident in one of the states in the country says, and I quote, "I don't think collection of the PVC will make any difference for me in 2019, and so I decided not to punish myself by abandoning my business to go and queue for endless hours." What do you make of this statement, going by the vox pop we've just watched?
Well, first, I disagree with the individual who made that statement, because we are aware that vote count is all about figures and numbers. The more people that collect their PVCs, the more number of votes that will count. And I want to urge the members of the public, especially in the Anambra, to go all out right away. For those who have registered since 2012 till April 2018, to go and collect their PVCs at their various ward collection centers. This is key, because we must vote. and be able to make a statement in this coming election.
Oh, okay, I think you had the statements of the masses there. You know, there are some that said they don't even have a voter's card. Prof, what's your take on that?
Yes, a lot of factors could be responsible for that. Okay. Apart from the fact that some are saying that the vote will not count. People go to bank, and within the bank process, the time you are in the bank, you collect your card. But here, people go to collect voters' card, they go 2-3 times, different days. That is waste of resources, and they don't have it. So, going forward, we should make that process less cumbersome, so that 1 hour or less that you approach, you are registered, you go with your card. That is a way of eradicating this problem.
Okay. Now, now let's look at it. In a country like Nigeria, where we know that most of the people who actually come to vote are the uneducated ones, you know, and most people who are less exposed. Now, when you get to ask the educated ones, why are you not going to vote? You get replies like, why would they go and vote when they know that they just know that their vote won't count? You know, most of them have this mindset and mentality that their vote won't count. Now, my question is, are we really operating a democratic system in Nigeria in the real sense of the word democracy?
Yes, the elite, the educated, would not be excited to go and vote because to them, and rightly so, Nigerian political parties are not based on ideology. Okay. So, if you are someone that knows what you want in life, and you see these parties behaving the way they behave, you say, why are you wasting your time? Yeah. It's not about they're not interested, but what ideology are you pursuing? If you go to Britain, they have parties that have ideology. If you go to America, the same thing. If you go to Germany, they have the same. But here, people jump from party A to party B just to have a platform to win election. There's no ideology there. So in the real sense, we have said it here before that what Nigeria is practicing today is civilian government, not democracy. That is where I belong.
So you think that actually one of the things?
Yes, Nigeria is practicing civilian government because even the way primaries of these parties went, there's nothing democratic about it in most of the congresses that held. So what we have is a civilian government, civilian administration. Gradually, with people getting more educated, more aware, more empowered, we start talking about democracy, whereby it's not about might, connection, money, but about service to delivery. It's not about what do I get in that office. And until we get to that stage where we make these offices less attractive, so that people who are ready to give service can come in, we have not started.
All right. When we talk about people not going to pick their permanent voter card, and some people have not even registered, not to talk of owning one, you know, what effect do you really think this will have in the electoral process of Nigeria?
Of course, the effect is that the lesser percentage of our population will determine who leads the country. But on the other hand, I think part of the problem is the attitude of the federal government. The government in power must always show that they are really committed to true democracy. Because democracy is the government of the people, by the people, for the people.
Okay.
So let me continue. Yeah, because if you look at what is happening recently, just like the members of the public have said, even my friend who is here, that the recent elections, what the people expected wasn't the result. But be it as it may, I think we should all put our hands on deck and focus on giving Nigeria a true image by encouraging the people, for once again, to come out, pick their PVCs, those that have registered, let them pick their PVCs and vote. Follow up the results, watch the votes, watch them counted, and then whatever it is, we have the judiciary to also prosecute the cases. Yes, so it's not something that doesn't have a solution. The solution is that INEC and the federal government must seem to be very committed and neutral in the processes.
All right. Well, picking up from what he said as regards to democracy, we know that if democracy means, government of the people, by the people, and for the people, and people are not, why are people not allowed to select their own leaders? That's my first question. Now, do you feel it's because most of them feel that their votes will be counted, or most of them feel that it will be counted, or Nigerians are ignorant about the whole thing? What exactly is the problem?
The truth is that the Nigerian structure, the Nigerian government, the Nigerian experience is such that the best, not just in politics, hardly emerges in Nigeria. That is where we are. And until we get down to the root and start promoting a situation whereby only the best for any particular thing is good enough, we are not going to make a headway. It's not about it's not about Nigerians not being ready for that. It's because the people that have found themselves in power and terms of power have amassed so much wealth, and they make this political contest look as if to say it's a do or die affair, such that an average Nigerian civil servant or worker cannot even buy a form, expression of interest form of a party, except these parties that are new now that are looking for people. Look at APC selling a form for 45 million. I'm a professor. My salary for 10 years cannot give me 45 million. Then imagine ordinary graduate in a state service who wants to go and serve his people. How will he get money? So we have commercialized our electoral process so much that we don't encourage the best to come in. No matter the party, they're the same.
All right, there's been a lot of campaigns, of vote buying. Don't allow yourself to be used. Okay, I think, wait. Vote buying and all whatnot. And there is something I read up from my boss's page complaining about hunger in the country. And he said that and he went on to say that talking out of his personal experience, I believe that, in his words, this handout model is really not sustainable. When you give people things to sustain them. So, and my question now is, don't you think that with the rate of inflation in the country and the hunger in the country, do you think vote buying will not surface 2019? Let me begin with you.
Vote buying is a devastation to our electoral process right away. It's just about candidates or political parties buying or coercing voters by giving them money or items in exchange for their votes. And that exercise did not start today. You remember that we have witnessed very poor leadership.
We are actually running out of time. Summarize.
Yeah, we have. No, I want everybody to get my point. We have witnessed very poor leadership in the country, and when leaders are in power and they have not given the people what they expect, so on the election day, some of those who are vulnerable would expect, okay, today I will get that thing that you've not been giving me for 5,000 naira, for 2,000 naira.
All right.
So it's a very poor ideology.
All right.
Wait. It's a very poor ideology. But what I'm trying to say is that vote buying has to do with 1, candidates, political parties, 2, security agencies, 3, INEC, and the process of voting.
All right, I think that's what you can take.
If we're able to sit down and address, especially the process of voting,
okay,
vote buying will get reduced drastically.
All right, we'd like to thank you so much. We could go on and on, but for want of time, This is where we terminate this. Can actually 2019 will vote actually count? I would appreciate you so much, Professor Aribodo, for coming on the show. Thank you so much for your time. And Honorable Ikobi Ejiofo, thank you so much, sir, for coming. All right, please don't go anywhere because we'll be back for yet another topic.
Stay with us.